Hello, everybody. Good evening. My name is Seth, and I'm speaking from Tallinn in Estonia. I'm excited to contribute to the discussion on corruption in Ghana and Africa for that matter. Seriously, every year, Africa and Ghana, in this context, lose millions and if not billions of US dollars. A lot of money, both from local resources, from donor agencies, and even from nationals abroad who want to invest something back home. All these monies go into corrupt practices and they all dissipate through the thin air. This is why we don't see development so much. To mention a few ways how corruption is visible in our country, let's just forget about the police taking 5 cities or 2 cities on the road because that is so visible. And interestingly, I realized that was not only in Ghana, it's almost the same everywhere. Listening to the Mugabe uproar this week, when people were talking about police people standing on the road and taking few coins, I'm like, wow, it's not only in Ghana, in Nigeria, it's everywhere. But these are visible ones. These are the ones that we see, and we always say the police is corrupt and that. I don't know much about the court system because I've never been to court, but we've also heard of how people try to manipulate. At least we have evidence of how um, Anas proved that a common goat could change the decision of a judge. But I would want to start from how our homes bring us up. Our homes actually begin to make us corrupt. For example, your parents would always want you to do things that is just not the way things should go. Everybody thinks it can go around it. Okay, why would that happen to you? Why didn't you ask? Why didn't you ask her to reduce the price? Why didn't you tell her this? Why didn't all these things are trying to, make people change their minds and cut corners. We try to reduce how much we're supposed to pay for our taxes or for our levies or anything, and I'll attribute that to the lack of standards. For example, those of us living abroad and living in the West, we could easily attest to the fact that you cannot just go to the market and say, "I like this one and I like that one, I like that one." Whatever you select is going to be put on the scale, and you're going to pay for how much it weighs. If it's going to weigh 5 kg, you pay for 5 kg. If it's going to weigh 1 kg, you pay for 1 kg. But in Ghana, for example, you can just say, "I would like the big one, like the other one, I like," and then you begin to negotiate. By so doing, negotiation skill is better, but people are able to go through this system to actually influence the system. So instead of paying, say, $500 for the whole thing, he ends up paying 50 because he tells the person, okay, I'll give you this for you to put in your pocket and then give it to me for free, or we pay officially for 5 cities. Recently, I asked someone to get a document for me from Ghana, and it was supposed to be neutralized, legalized from the Foreign Affairs Ministry. The person went there. The lady said, "Oh, it's going to cost 300 Ghana cedis." So she paid the money and she went home. 3 days later, she came for the document and the lady said, "But we'll give you a receipt of 25." 25 cedis. And you take 300 Ghana cedis from me because there is no standards. You don't even know how much you're going to pay. You can't check it anywhere. You don't have foreknowledge. Information is so concealed that you don't know how much. If someone even robs you, you don't even know because no one tells you. There is no way to verify. That brings to my next solution that I think we should not gradually because we have everything we need. Internet penetration in Ghana is so high. Only that we are not harnessing that opportunity. We should try to make things. All the websites of the public institutions should be made active. It should be activated. Everything you need should be there. For example, in this little country that I live in, if I need anything, I don't have to go to any office for anything. I just sit by my computer in my room, I enter my details, I put it in, and then I get an email confirming that my thing has been processed, and they tell me where to pick it up. Sometimes they bring it just to my post box. In many cases, almost everything. In this case, you don't see anybody that the person will tell you, okay, give me 2 cedis and I'll do it for you for free. Or this is how we should fight the corruption. We should start from the little ones, the little things. Our laws are so weak, I would say. Our laws are made such that it is believed it is going to be handled by angels. People sit down to read the law and find loopholes. Anyway, nobody enforces the law anyway. Because in Ghana, everybody can just wake up and think he's a big man. He thinks he's a big man. Everybody thinks he's a big man. People can just go to a plot of land or a piece of land and start constructing on it. They know nobody's going to arrest them. We have municipal assemblies and district assemblies who are paid every month. They are given salaries. They are sent abroad on big conferences. I have met many people on conferences abroad. They are from Ghana with their big stomach. They go back home with nothing. They don't go and tell them anything. But people are building places where they are not supposed to do. And if they are arrested or they are found and they are supposed to be sent to court, according to the Local Government Act, if you construct anything without a permit, the municipal assembly has to pull it down, and you are going to be surcharged for the demolition. People will just see you and say, give you 10 cities, or give you 50 cities, or give you 100 cities, or give you 1,000 cities, based on the magnitude and the quantum of the work that is being handled. In big institutions, in the corporate institutions, when I got a job in Ghana for the first time, I mean, when I was working for a government institution back then, people would force you, like, oh, where do you work? You tell them, like, oh, you're going to buy a house very soon. You're going to buy a car. You don't have to take trotro anymore. You don't have to be living in compound house. You don't have to rent. So the system actually encourages that. So as a young person, you go to the office and everything that comes, instead of putting the nation first, you want to think about your pocket first. Because if you work for 10 years and you are still taking public transport, or you still rent an apartment, then you are a loser. You are useless. No one wants to be called this. This is how we should be handling it. The laws must be enforced to the latter, such that anyone who does anything and is arrested is not going to be laughed, going to be entertained. If 5 people are handled in such way, and it makes national headlines, I think people will be very careful in doing these things. Do you know why there are curtains in offices, even though the offices are made of glasses, but there are a lot of curtains around there? Because behind the curtain is where corruption breeds well. You go to many embassies, you go to the Dutch embassy in Germany, and the whole thing, the whole block, the whole architecture is glass. Now they tell you it's because of the Dutch transparency. That is the concept. In Ghana, after the government has spent money, or private people have spent a lot of money to build glass houses, so we can see the people working for us, we also spend a lot of money to build blinds, not to stop the ray of the sun, but rather to be able to do black deals in there. Corruption must be fought from the home, from schools, from work, on the road, because in the trotros, it happens everywhere. It's so visible that you can't run away from it. But I don't have the whole day. I will join in the discussion when the telephone lines are opened in the course of the program, and I will contribute my thoughts. Thank you very much, everybody, and big ups to SESA. May God bless us all.